So I'm going to ask that we agree today that the bill won't come to the floor until the Health Committee has had an open meeting and considered amendments from both parties.
Is there objection?
Object.
Objections heard.
I ask unanimous consent.
Is there objection?
Object.
Objections heard.
I'd like to ask for unanimous consent.
Is there objection?
Object.
Objection is heard.
I ask for unanimous consent.
Is there objection?
Object.
Objection is heard.
I have a unanimous consent request.
Is there objection?
Object.
Objection is heard.
And so it goes in the world's greatest deliberative body. Welcome back to the 11th hour. That was the scene today in the Senate, with Democrats increasingly frustrated with Republicans who are, in effect, working in secret on the Senate version of their health care bill. In protest, Democrats are holding the floor tonight. That's Senator Merkley there using speeches and Senate procedures to have their say on this health care bill, and to underscore just how unprecedented this move is by the Senate Republicans. Today, the LA Times reported this. Don Ritchie, historian emeritus of the Senate, said not since the years before World War I has the Senate taken such a partisan closed-door approach to major legislation. For more, I am joined by Senator Tammy Baldwin, Democrat of the state of Wisconsin. So, Senator, we understand that this was not the Democrats' idea, and we understand your evening-long effort. But at the end of the day, can you reassure people who are scared, from Missoula to Madison to Cleveland, people who are scared they're going to lose their coverage, that you, as a member of the Senate, will look out for them and nothing will get through there that will actively harm folks who have coverage now?
Well, on the first point, Brian, one of the purposes of my floor speech was to tell some of those stories that I hear day in and day out. And frankly, I started with my own because as a child at age 9, I had a very serious illness, 3 months in the hospital, and then was labeled as one of those kids with a pre-existing condition. But I know my story is not unique. And as you look at what we can tell the American people, clearly, Republicans have the majority in the House. They have the majority in the Senate. There's a Republican in the White House. But we are not going to give up. And while as a senator myself, I can't affect the outcome, even Democrats in the Senate can't. If we elevate the voice of the American people and make sure that they communicate with their elected officials in the House and the Senate, that's what it's going to take. And I still have hope that their voices will be heard, because health care is deeply personal.
Let's talk logistics just for a moment. Mitch McConnell, it's hard to envision him bringing something up that is born to fail. So let's say he has the reasons to think he can get this passed. What happens then? And remembering that some Americans are watching this very closely.
Well, you asked about what we're doing this evening in terms of holding the floor, bringing the stories of our constituents to the Senate floor, demanding that those stories be heard, hopefully inspiring people to act, to call, to write, to be involved in this democracy, because the last thing we can afford to do right now is to say this is an uphill battle and the odds are long. We've got to engage in this fight. It's 1/6 of our nation's economy. It impacts everyone on a very personal basis. And my call to action, my colleagues' call to action, is that let's make our democracy work in this particular debate. People need to speak out.
Do you think Obamacare will be repealed and/or replaced by the end of calendar year 2017?
You know, again, the odds are long, but I have hope. I have hope, first of all, that we can stop this partisan nonsense to score partisan political points and instead resolve that we're not going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. We're going to fix the Affordable Care Act and improve upon our health care system for everyone. And if we can get to that point, I can assure you we can work together to make a stronger plan for all Americans. But so long as they continue to craft legislation in secret, in dark, behind closed doors, and do so more to make a partisan point than to do the business of the American people, we've got a big fight ahead of us.
Senator Tammy Baldwin, Democrat of the great state of Wisconsin, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.